Hey guys, it's Adam Harrison from Burble Guitars, and I'm here with you today for a beginner's guide to using guitar effects. Quite a few people have asked me how they can get started using guitar effects. As we know, a lot of people who play cigar box guitars tend to play through digital amplifiers, which have got built-in effects. There's a couple of inherent problems with those types of amplifiers. There's definitely some positives. But there are some drawbacks. One of the drawbacks is the tone of the gain stages. They tend to be very sterile, very aggressive in a way. They don't tend to interact very, very well with your guitar volume dial. Using outboard effects also gives you the benefit of being able to switch your effects on and off. So you could be playing into a clean amplifier and then press the foot switch on the pedal, and that will then give you your gain. You can actually, I've got two gain pedals set up in a row here. One's more of an overdrive, and this one is like a proper fuzz. Both of these are one knob pedals, just to keep this very simple today. I'll talk more about pedals that have more than one knob in another video. But I just wanted to go over the basics today to get you started. So what do you need to get started? If you said to me, Adam, I want to buy one of your effects pedals, I don't have anything at the moment. All I've got is an amplifier, I've got a guitar lead, and I've got my cigar box guitar. But what can I do? First things first, if you have a digital amplifier, you can definitely run foot pedals into a digital amplifier. Okay, just run it into, and you'll decide as to how you want to, how dirty you want your amp to be. If you want to run a dirt pedals into a dirty amp, you're definitely going to get a different reaction than you will if you run dirt pedals into a clean amplifier. When I say clean, it means without distortion. My suggestion to start with would be to turn all the distortion off on your amplifier and run through a clean setting. So run through the clean channel on your amp. By all means, use the reverbs, and if you want to use the flanges, the phaser effects, or all the wobbly stuff, by all means. This will get you started. So what do you need to get started? First thing you're going to need is you're going to need two guitar cables, okay? Because you're going to need to plug your guitar. So you will have a guitar cable going into your guitar. The other end of the cable will need to go, this one here, will need to go into the input of your effect pedal. Okay, now I have two effects pedals in a row at the moment. I've done that for a reason, because some people have got more than one effect pedal. You're going to need, if you're going to do that, if you want to run more than one pedal, you're going to need a patch lead. Okay, I stock the Ernie Ball patch leads. I also stock the guitar cables. So you can get them from me, otherwise you can get them from any good guitar parts or guitar supplier, musical instrument supplier, whatever. This goes into your output. And then this one will then go into the input of the next pedal. So these are called patch leads. If you've only got one pedal, you don't need a patch lead, okay? What you will need is the second guitar cable. Now the second guitar cable will plug in to the output of your pedal. I'm going to plug it into the output of the second pedal that I've got here, because I will be doing a demonstration in a second. I plug that in. The other end of that will then go into your amplifier. You can see I'm using a pig nose here to demonstrate. Pig noses are great little amps. They're great fun. And they do take effects. Now, the next thing is this. You may need, you have to, you're going to have to power your effects pedal. Effects pedals do need electricity. All of the pedals that I make run on 9-volt positive power. I will make it very, very, very clear if I have a guitar effect that uses negative power. Okay, those guitar pedals you will use old germanium transistors, which run on negative charge, okay? Pretty much everything I make runs on a positive charge. Now that's interesting because you can certainly have problems if you plug or you power your effects pedals with negative charge if they're meant to be powered on positive, and vice versa. The other thing is that if you have all of my pedals, for example, as I said, are 9 volt, so do not run your pedals using an adapter which is 18 or 24 volts. The chances are that you will fry the pedal. You'll be putting too much electricity or too much voltage into that pedal, into that circuit, and you will fry the circuit. There's 2 ways of powering your effects pedals. The very first way of powering your effects pedal is by using a battery. Now, I have a 9 volt plug-in at the top here for an adapter. I haven't got it plugged in at the moment. You will see I switch the pedal on and the light comes on. So there is power in there. There is a battery in there, a 9 volt battery, one of those square ones. Okay. This will run just fine. Now I'm in Australia. If you order a pedal from me in Australia and you're in America or in the UK, it'll still run. All the batteries are the same around the world. That's all fine. The difference is basically just in your outlet power, the voltage. This pedal, however, you can see how small it is. Okay, many smaller size pedals don't use batteries. The other thing is that quite often you will find pedal builders who don't want to use batteries. I don't generally like using batteries. Batteries are not necessarily very clean for the environment. But then again, what is nowadays? In my metal box pedals, I generally don't use batteries. Having said that, pretty much all of the pedals I've got on the website now, the Birdwood Guitars website, are all set up, or mostly all set up for batteries. It'll say in the instructions or the information whether or not they will or won't have battery power or mains power. This is an adapter. You are going to need a 9 volt adapter to power an effects pedal that doesn't use batteries. Now, it's very important, as you can see, this is a 9 volt. Okay. The other thing that you might be able to see there, if you can see that there is a symbol underneath, just there. There's a ring, an outer ring, with a plus sign, and then there's a little dot in the center with a line coming out of it, and that says negative. Okay, that's a negative center pin. You must use an adapter that has, on these pedals, a negative center pin. Okay, so you must follow those instructions. If you don't, as I said, you can or you will blow up your pedal. It will not work, and it may get damaged. You can plug in an adapter while a battery is still in the pedal. That's perfectly fine. That's not a problem to do that. I'm just going to plug this adapter in up here. As you can see, there's no battery. Okay, the light hasn't come on. There's no battery in there. There we go. I plugged in the adapter and I'm placing this in the top. You can see the light has come on. There is power. My suggestion is when you start using your pedals, turn the volume off. Turn the volume down. Okay? That's so that when you turn the pedal on for the very first time, you don't blow your ears out because it's turned all the way up. Okay, so make sure your pedal's turned, the volume is down, and then you'll dial in the volume. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. There is one point I just wanted to make as well. With battery-powered pedals, as you can see, power's on, power's off. It's very important that when you stop playing and you pack up for the day and you've had enough, when you stop playing, the most important thing you can do with a battery-powered pedal is pull out the input jack. Now you can leave the pedal in a row, or you can leave the cable in on the output. That's perfectly fine. The reason that you don't leave the jack in the input is because it engages when I plug that in, it engages the earth wire, okay, which effectively turns on the battery. Now, I'm not drawing much current at the moment, or nearly any current at the moment from the battery, because it's turned off. However, there is a very small amount of drain on that battery, and if you do leave that cable in, you can reduce the charge on the battery. And if you leave it in for a long period of time, you will flatten the battery. I'll give you an example. I've just turned the pedal on, and I'm going to pull this out. Now this will disengage the negative wire. There it is. Okay. I'm going to put it back in. There it is. Take it out. It turns off. Okay. So even though this is engaged and on at the moment, because this is not in, there's no draw on that battery at all. Again, I plug it in. Now it's drawing charge. I turn it off. It's still drawing a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of charge. So when you finish at the end of the day, unplug the input jack on these. That even goes if you have a jack in the top. If this is still in, it is still going to draw power from the battery. So it's handy having a battery in these sometimes, because if you're at a gig or something happens and you kick out the power supply, the battery will automatically take over. So you'll generally find a lot of players who play on stage, if their pedals support batteries, they will usually have a battery in there. Okay, let's turn some things on and make a little bit of noise. Oh, I just wanted to make one more point. If you are running more than one pedal in a row, you can actually do what's called daisy chaining. Now, a daisy chain is a cable that has multiple plugs. Okay, so it'll plug in here, and then it spreads out, and there's multiples, and sometimes you'll get 6 or maybe 8. Okay, you may get 6 or 8 jacks in a row. That's perfectly fine. Can sometimes tend to be a little bit noisy, as in these electrical power coming from the main circuit, they can be a touch noisy. I will also mention that the 9-volt adapter that I just showed you is called a One Spot. It's a really, really good brand. It's specifically designed for musical instruments. And most importantly, it's designed to keep the noise level down. And when I say noise level, I'm not talking about noise from an overdrive pedal, because overdrive pedals, let's turn these on. Overdrive pedals can tend to be a little on the noisy side. This is a really shocking area under the house, and we get a lot of hum underneath here. So don't be afraid if you do hear a little bit of hum from your pedal. Try a different jack, output jack, a power jack, not a mains board in your house, try not to use anything that has a washing machine or a refrigerator on that circuit, because it can tend to be a little on the noisy side. You can get isolated power supplies as well, but I'll show you that in another video. But basically, that's what you need to start. Okay, you need 2 guitar cables. Okay, if you've got one pedal, you don't need little cables. You don't need them. So 2 guitar cables, your pedal, your amplifier. If it's battery powered, you don't need an adapter. If it's not battery powered, you will need a 9-volt adapter. Okay, and you can use 9-volt adapters. Make sure they've got a negative center pin, so make sure that they are a positive. Okay, you're going to run whatever equipment you've got, you're going to run that on a positive charge, which has to be on the outside ring. When you look at that diagram, that's super, super important. All right, you can use run-of-the-mill 9-volt adapters on any effects pedal. However, they're usually very, very noisy because they're not designed for musical instruments. They're not designed to minimize 60 cycle hum, okay, or radio interference. Okay, they're designed to power, for example, charge up maybe a remote control car or any other piece of equipment that is not designed to create music. Okay, use a good quality output jack if you want moderately noise-free operation. The 1-spot adapters are really good. I don't sell those, but you can get them if you're in America from Sweetwater or Guitar Center, any of those, any guitar place. Okay, here in Australia you can get them from Pedal Empire. I'm sure in the UK you can get them from Andertons or any other fantastic guitar retailer. I hope that has helped. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments, okay? I'm going to be putting this video out through the Birdwood Guitars YouTube channel, and I will also be putting it out through the Cigar Box Guitar Builder YouTube channel as well, if that helps, okay? So please, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments section there. Take care, and I'll see you soon.